let's see what the future holds. My main priority at the moment is to raise the profile of hill climbing in general, across the board. I think that you need to have quite a certain ability to be talented or to do well in hill climbing. And I don't think that they get, all the formula drivers that I compete alongside, the Alex Summers, Wise Menges, Scott Moran, people like that who, have been champions. They're very talented drivers, and we just don't have the level of exposure in the UK for hill climbing that I think we should have. Go across to Europe or, Fagioli, the household names in Europe. And in the UK, we just, it seems like it's a sort of an old man's hobby rather than a national sport. It is the British Hill Climb Championship, and it needs to have that level of exposure and coverage. So part of my trip to Pikes Peak was to raise the profile of that. So.
Well, and hopefully you were successful in that. I've seen like a lot of people, you got a lot of people's attention, so I'm hopefully raised a lot of awareness for what you guys are doing.
Yeah, great.
Well, and I wonder why that is. There's something similar here that I've seen with time attack. So time attack racing, where you're running around a circuit, but the priority is not to race wheel to wheel. It's really just to put down a single fast lap time, sometimes for the whole day, just a single fastest lap time. And that also is something where it seems like the people that are running, bigger motorsports events or wheel to wheel racing, they've not given time attack as much attention or as much credit as maybe was due. Do you think that there's any parallels between hill climb and time attack in that way?
Yeah, so that's where I started out. So 2013, 14, and 15, my focus was in the legacy was in UK time attack championship, and we had a great time doing that before I went off to do hill climbing, because that's what Stephen Darley was doing. And I think what drew me to hill climbing was the history of it more than anything. Was that records had stood for so many years. If you could make your mark in hill climbing from a sport that early 1900s it had started out, then it would
Right.
it'd be around for a while. But time attack. Time attack has a good level of coverage here in the UK. It's something that's very popular. I know World Time Attack in Australia gets a lot of coverage, and that's a big event. A lot of it's down to the social media side of things, and people like to see wild cars. They like to see flames. They like to see tire smoke. They like to see big wings, lots of aero.
Yeah.
That's what people want to see, and I think that's part of the reason why drifting's been so incredibly popular. And I think we can learn a lot
Yeah.
from drifting. You look at the Drift GP, and you see that they've got drones on track that are following cars around and getting some incredible footage that's perfect for Instagram and Reels. I think we can learn a lot from that, and help to build hill climbing around what they're doing. But
Oh, that's
time
a fair
attack,
point.
yeah, time attacking and hill climb are kind of set in their ways, whereas drifting seems to be evolving incredibly quickly. Such cool cars, and the thing I suppose with drifting you can see the whole thing, whereas with us hill climbing, certainly in Europe and in the US, people see you at the start line, and maybe at some point across, on the way up, but you disappear into the trees, and that's kind of the last they see of you. Drifting in a circuit, they can see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's still a lot. I think live in car videos and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and pushing it more on social media. I think if we can push it on social media. Hill climbing is an insane sport. For us in the UK, 60 seconds is sort of our longest hill here, but it's the most intense, frantic, crazy 60 seconds in an
Yeah.
800 horsepower car. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, the spectacle of what you guys are doing, and like from the runs of yours that I've seen, I mean, it's super intense, and like, yeah, the excitement is there for it. It's just maybe trying to get more people aware of it, to see it, to get exposed to it.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people, like, people see Pikes Peak, and like the cars racing up these insane roads, and the vistas that you see, the in the background and stuff is just kind of mind blowing, and that's kind of part of the appeal. But all of that is there for hill climbing, but just as it is in time attack, and time attack over in Europe from what I've seen is really coming on and getting a lot of good attention and good exposure. Um,
Mhm.
and here it's starting to as well. And so like the next bastion of that is hill climbing, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly that.
Thanks for tuning in. To hear the whole conversation, click below for the full episode of this podcast or tune in every week on iTunes or Spotify. As always, this show is brought to you by Flatirons Tuning, your premier source for any Subaru OEM or aftermarket parts. Check out our website at flatironstuning.com, and as always, stay tuned with Flatirons Tuning.